A decent first episode and shows us Makapaka's personality. Our first Tomnibus story. Our first Ninky Nonk story. The Pontypine segment was pointless in this episode. Makapaka's best episode! Interesting plot for the first Pontypines episode. Lovely first Pinky Ponk story. Iggle Piggle finally gets an episode for himself. Apparently the Ninky Nonk has feelings. This one was just mediocre. This one had an interesting plot. Nice to see the Hahoos enjoying the fun. You know this? This was boring. This episode is a classic. Mediocre. Makapaka must have watched the Ninky Nonk off screen. What an interesting concept. Upsy Daisy's singing voice and the Tomniboo music sounds horrible! This trope will become boring later on. I like Iggle Piggle's intelligence in the episode. A reused trope, but not in a bad way. Not as annoying as last time. A normal episode where characters have fun. The Balls introductory episode. My favourite episode! This one was also quite interesting. Enjoyable but repetitive. Why does this feel like a Thomas and Friends episode? This episode is quite random. I really like this concept. I love Upsy Daisy and Iggle Piggle's alternative themes. Not good, but not bad. Starts really good, then gets boring. It's a 3 strikes formula episode! A worse version of episode 8. Lovely story. A fast-paced version of episode 9. Interesting concept and lovely Tomniboo music. Makapaka gets angry with the ball in this episode. Just characters doing fun things. I'm loving the unique shots in this one. Makapaka impatient. Me bored. This episode has a great chase sequence. Shame the Hahoos got washed in this episode only. Episode 23, but with Iggle Piggle. The Ponk Alert has 2 different names in this episode. How did Upsy Daisy get tired that quickly? Makapaka has a caring side. Interesting plot and very nostalgic. Again, the Pontypines being pointless. It's Makapaka's turn to lose something. You could have had your dinner at your house, Pontypines. Pity the title was only seen once and never again. Interesting seeing a Tomniboo get lost. Poor Upsy Daisy got broken sleep at the end. Why does this episode feel rushed? Good story and good moral. I don't blame Iggle Piggle for avoiding the noises. How did the children get on the roof? The first part of a trilogy. Another amazing concept. Iggle Piggle is very strong. Mediocre. If I waited that long, I would be angry. Upsy Daisy's bed is such a pest. That stone appeared only once and never again. Accounting story. Poor Makapaka couldn't catch a break. This one was memorable. Was this plot executed well? Nice how we have an episode about weather. Once again, mediocre. It all builds up to a great chase. My favourite Pontypines episode. I can relate when I can't decide what to do. Interesting seeing the Pinky Ponk chase after the Ninky Nonk. The Wattages at their best. Ugh. This rubbish again! He still hasn't learnt his lesson. The Ninky Nonk must have been busy that day. A meme was born! How is Makapaka going to clean that? First Makapaka gets lost, now Iggle Piggle? It's episode 48, but reversed. Every time the Pinky Ponk ponks, it gets more serious. I love the design of Tomniboo's favourite brick. The second trilogy entry. All-time classic! A questionable chase sequence. This one had so many random things going on. How strong are these characters? Ooh, sequel! Quite mediocre, but has nice camera shots. Simple story. This strength problem is getting insane. Something is spreading in the garden. An episode about both vehicles? And the Wattingers were never seen again. My favourite in the trilogy. Not a good way to end the show.